Well, on President Trump, the left has lost their minds in the last 48 hours, manufacturing this new narrative that his health is in crisis, that he's unfit for office. Tell me about that. Tell me about the manner in which his administration was undermined that first time around with the Russian collusion hoax. Are we going to see some consequences with that? Are we going to see people actually arrested and put in jail for undermining democracy in the way they did? And can you see another crisis being manufactured perhaps around his mental fitness or whatever else they're going to dream up?
Well, it's really amazing, Rita. You know, you have the situation where Joe Biden, when he ran for president back in 2020, never left his basement. He wasn't seen in public for weeks upon weeks on end. And yet suddenly Donald Trump takes one day off to hold a bunch of meetings, and suddenly they lose their minds and they're spreading conspiracies that that somehow he's left this, shuffled off this mortal coil. It's absolutely ridiculous. And of course, he went to play a round of golf this morning just after all that. But and Joe Biden, again, spending 4 years shambling around the White House, barely able to hold a meeting after 5 in the evening. And we're told, oh, he's perfectly fine. He's the pinnacle of health. And we're completely crazy for even questioning it. Then, of course, the media makes a complete 180. And now you've got the likes of Jake Tapper from CNN coming out and saying, oh, we actually were asking questions all along. No, you weren't. You were there holding his hand the entire time, telling us that the emperor was fully clothed when he could all see that he was not. Look, when it comes to the Russiagate collusion hoax, everything that I'm hearing is that they're very, very serious about consequences for those who perpetuated this crime. And this was a crime against the American people, against the duly elected president of the American people in 2016, when the people of the states elected Donald Trump to be their president. And you had a conspiracy at the highest levels of government to effectively nullify the vote and nullify his ability to administer the country and effectuate the office of the executive, the president. And these lies that they push through the intelligence community, which I was serving in at the time and could see how this stuff was coming out, breaking every single rule in the book, and having people like John Brennan and James Comey and Jim Clapper go in and stenographer. They wrote these assessments claiming that it was Russia. There was no evidence. There never was any evidence. And what we're now seeing is there are very serious moves afoot from the Department of Justice and from federal prosecutors to bring cases against them.
US President Donald Trump has deployed the National Guard onto the streets of Washington, D.C. as part of his crackdown on crime and immigration. Residents in the state have so far witnessed immigration raids, arrests and increasing community tension.
It's 7 a.m. in Washington's Mount Pleasant neighborhood. We'd set out to see for ourselves what law and order now looks like in today's America.
You don't need to do this.
We hadn't expected it would take just 5 minutes and 2 blocks to find it. But this is now happening daily.
I'm observing what you're doing. You can observe right here. Don't cross the street.
The agents are from ICE, the Immigration and Customs Enforcement Agency, here on the orders of the president.
You have to stand up to the people who are telling you to do this because it's wrong.
Their targets are Latino workers. It's one strand of his law and order blueprint for America.
Sir, do you have someone I can call? You have a family? You want them to know?
And it is blunt.
Get her out of here.
Get her out of here, he says to a neighbor woken by the commotion.
You should be ashamed of yourself.
The surge of federal law enforcement agents into America's capital has been unprecedented, and their powers are too.
So it's just gone 20 past 7 in the morning. What appears to have happened is that the authorities have pulled over this truck here. They have detained, we think, 3 people from them. They've removed them, put them into these unmarked police vehicles here. and they will be taken away. It's causing a huge amount of upset with the locals here. Have a look.
A masked Gestapo.
Ouch!
Get out of here! Get out of here! Yeah, get out!
Get out!
They've arrested your co-workers.
Yeah. I have people, but, you know, my partners, they don't.
Detained because they were not able to prove on demand as they went to work whether they are here legally.
These are hardworking people. These people work in our neighborhood. They work in our restaurants. They're our neighbors. They are taking hardworking people away, not criminals.
This is not making our city safe, pulling out workers who are an essential member of our community and being like, oh, that makes DC a better place. It doesn't.
Well, that really was stark to see it all unfolding in front of us. And the blunt actions of the agents really is a reflection of the orders from the very top. But for me, the really interesting thing was the visceral reaction from the community.
Up the road, another moment of community tension.
Well, 15 minutes or so since we filmed that last raid, we've moved a few blocks away and you can see the commotion here. Locals very upset because this vehicle, inside it are some of the ICE officials, the police officers who are doing the detaining, and clearly for the locals, they do not want them there.
The whistles are a new community tactic to alert people that ICE agents are in the area. It's a couple of weeks now since President Trump outlined from the White House his plan for Washington.
Going to take our capital back. We're taking it back. In massive enforcement operations targeting known gangs, drug dealers, and criminal networks to get them the hell off the street, maybe get them out of the country, because a lot of them came into our country illegally. They shouldn't have been allowed in. They come from Venezuela. They come from all over the world. We're going to get them the hell out. They won't be here long.
And this is the intentionally visual part of it all. The National Guard at the sites and on the streets. Fighting crime is their mission. The president has seized control of law, order and security from the city authorities, who he has framed as failing liberals. He's pledged it as a model for other cities. But if this is largely about a display of strength, well, in the neighborhoods of overwhelmingly democratic left-leaning DC, it feels closer to a worrying tipping point.
They don't make me feel safer. They make me feel more police. Like I have to be a little bit more aware, and not in a good way.
24 hours later, and we're back in Mount Pleasant.
So we just ran into a local guy here who's had a tip-off that there is a raid happening a couple of blocks over here. So we're just going to see, you can see the flashing lights down here.
The officers are at the entrance to an apartment block.
Traitor!
They appear to be from various agencies, and the city police too, who are now also under the authority of President Trump. This time, they are heavily armed.
How are you feeling, ma'am?
I'm sick. This is not this country. It's not what we're about. We're a quiet community, great neighbors. It's unbelievable we've come to this. Unbelievable. Go.
Can you tell us who you're looking for? What's the job you're up to here? Are these immigration raids?
On this occasion, no one is arrested, and they are in the end literally shouted out of the street.
I've lived here for 47 years and I've never seen anything like this. They are occupying the city and our neighborhoods. They are brutalizing people. They are taking people for no reason. We don't want them here. This is a Donald Trump dominance performance. Get out of our city!
It is more than a performance, though, because here in Washington, the president can and has taken control of law enforcement from the local authorities to deliver his election pledge.
Does this community anger make you feel upset, worried?
I have nothing to say, sir.
But the community anger here is visceral.
No comment. Okay.
If this is the plan for Democrat-run cities across the country, well, then the weeks ahead look divisive indeed.
You.
Mark Stone, Sky News in Washington.